Hell. There is no version of hell that's safe. Whether biblical, mythological, or adapted into fiction like Doom or Dante's Inferno, hell is always a realm of eternal torment designed specifically for suffering. It doesn't just kill you, it breaks you, over and over, for all eternity. Fire and brimstone are just the surface. Deeper down, you'll find isolation, madness, and spiritual decay. It's not a place with goals, forgiveness, or mercy. Time doesn't mean anything here. You could suffer in silence for what feels like 1,000 years, only to start again from the beginning. Demons torture not for justice, but for joy, and you are nothing more than a toy to them. The very concept of rest, identity, or peace is stripped from you. Hell is the final destination of pain, not a punishment, but a permanent state of being. 2. A time of demons and angels. A world where angels and demons battle over Earth may sound epic, but to live there is to exist in a never-ending apocalypse. Divine beings don't fight like men. They reshape the world with every movement. An angel's arrival can be a nuclear explosion wrapped in light. A demon's presence can rot a city from the inside out. Humans are insignificant in this conflict. You're cannon fodder, a casualty, or a pawn. Divine intervention is not comforting, it's terrifying. Angels may follow orders with no concern for collateral damage, and demons take delight in corrupting the pure and innocent. Faith becomes fear. Prophecies consume free will. Peace is a distant memory. You live knowing your world can be burned, judged, or possessed at any moment, and no side fights for you. Number 3. Gods of Egypt. In Gods of Egypt, mortals live beneath the rule of literal gods, towering beings of gold and power, whose grudges and ambitions turn cities into ruins. Their battles cause earthquakes, flood deserts, and bring the sun to a standstill. You don't get to control your life. You exist under divine tyranny. Death isn't an escape either. Even the afterlife is a bureaucratic nightmare, with your soul weighed and judged, often harshly. You must pay to get into the underworld, and even then, your fate is up to the moods of the gods. Entire civilizations rise and fall at a whim. A god's anger could erase your entire bloodline. This is a world where power is absolute and mercy is optional, and your survival depends entirely on whether or not you're useful to a deity. Number 4. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Evangelion is set in a world already post-apocalypse, with much of humanity wiped out by a catastrophe known as the Second Impact. What remains is a fractured society constantly under siege by otherworldly beings called angels, and the only defense are Evangelions, living biomechanical weapons piloted by emotionally broken teenagers. The mechs aren't just machines, they're linked to the pilot's psyches, and piloting them takes an enormous mental toll. The organization, Nerve, hides the truth. The angels are part of a planned extinction event, and the Evangelions are literally made from dead gods. The endgame is instrumentality, a forced merging of all souls into one collective consciousness, erasing identity. You're not only fighting monsters, you're being emotionally deconstructed by the very system meant to protect you. Reality breaks down. Dreams and thoughts bleed into the physical world. Even salvation becomes a horror. 5. Full Metal Alchemist. In this world, science is powerful, but it demands a terrible cost. Alchemy is real and follows the law of equivalent exchange. To obtain something of equal value must be lost. Break the rules and you'll lose your limbs, your family, or your soul. Try to resurrect the dead, and you may unleash abominations or open the gate of truth, where a godlike force strips you of your body in exchange for forbidden knowledge. That's just the individual level. On a national scale, the world is far worse. Governments conduct genocide to fuel dark alchemy, creating philosopher's stones for mass sacrifice. The homunculi, artificial beings made from sin, manipulate history from the shadows. Your memories, your beliefs, your nation, they're probably a lie crafted by monsters wearing human skin. No matter how good your intentions are, the world will break you for trying to change it. 6. Delicious in Dungeon. Though it starts as a fantasy comedy about adventurers cooking monsters to survive, the world of Delicious in Dungeon is deceptively terrifying. The dungeon they explore is living, constantly shifting, and built on ancient, magical systems that blur the line between nature and nightmare. Monsters aren't just obstacles, they're part of an ecosystem. Slimes, dragons, and sentient fungi evolve based on what they consume. Death is reversible through magic, but resurrection isn't clean. Come back too many times, and your mind or soul starts to deteriorate. The deeper the party goes, the more reality breaks down. Time loops, ghosts of failed adventurers wander. Ancient gods influence the dungeon from beyond. Every floor is a test not just of strength, but mental resilience and moral compromise. Living here means either adapting to the dungeon's rules or becoming part of it forever. 7. Goblin Slayer. In this world, goblins are vile, violent, and horrifyingly real. They torture, enslave, and kill with no remorse. Most adventurers ignore them because they're considered low-level threats, which leaves innocent people at their mercy. Towns get wiped out while higher-level heroes chase dragons and demons. The world is broken in how it treats suffering. Justice is slow, help is rare, and those who survive goblin raids are often traumatized beyond healing. The main character, Goblin Slayer, is a symbol of that trauma, a man entirely consumed by vengeance, whose only purpose is wiping them out. There's magic and adventure here, but it's buried beneath cruelty, neglect, and systemic failure. Even victory is hollow. Even peace feels temporary. 8. Sword Art Online. Imagine putting on a VR headset to play the best game of your life, then realizing you're trapped, and dying in the game means dying in real life. That's Sword Art Online, where thousands of players are held hostage in a digital fantasy world run by a madman. While the setting looks beautiful, castles, forests, magic, it hides constant threat. Every battle could kill you. PvP players become murderers. Later arcs explore even darker themes: mind hacking, psychological breakdowns, soul experiments, and NPCs who feel real enough to beg for their lives. Technology in this world isn't just immersive, it's invasive. Your consciousness can be scanned, altered, or even erased, and villains can trap your soul in simulation indefinitely. Even when you escape one nightmare, another one waits in the next arc. Living in SAO means knowing that your mind is no longer your own, and death might be the most merciful outcome.